The working principle of an engine is actually not complicated. This is a round piston. This is a connecting rod. The piston is connected to the connecting rod by a piston pin. The crankshaft is attached under the connecting rod. The piston is connected to the cylinder. Through this design, linear motion of the piston can be converted into rotational motion of the crankshaft. To support this mechanical structure, outside the institution, there's an engine block. Mounted at the top of the cylinder block are the valves and fuel injectors. When the engine starts, first the piston moves down. Intake valve open. Fresh air enters the cylinder through the intake valve until the entire cylinder is filled. Then the intake valve closes. The piston starts to move up. It compresses the air, causes a sharp increase in gas temperature. At the same time, the fuel injectors start to inject diesel. If you look closely, you will find the top of the piston is actually a mesh. The structure is actually rotating. So when the diesel comes in, turning allows diesel to mix quickly with air and form a uniform mixture of gases due to the relatively low spontaneous combustion temperature of diesel. So the mixture will immediately catch fire on its own. But if it is a gasoline engine, gasoline has a higher ignition point. So generally you need to use a spark plug for ignition. Next, the high-pressure expanding gas produced by combustion will quickly push the piston down, and it turns the crankshaft. Then the piston starts to move up. Simultaneously the exhaust valve opens. Exhaust the burning exhaust gas. In fact, the whole process involves 4 steps. First comes intake. Then the gas compresses. Then you do the work. And finally exhaust. And that's the origin of the 4-stroke engine. Certainly, this is just the basics of car engines. Here's the problem. A car engine cannot have only one cylinder. Because if there is only one cylinder, the pressure on the piston will. It's very big. It's not very efficient. Therefore, the general engine has more than 3 cylinders. Each piston works at a different time point. So for example, a cylinder might be taking in air, but the other cylinder may have been ignited to work. This means that at any given time, there is always a cylinder working in an engine. As you can see from the animation, the ignition sequence is 1342. The ignition sequence varies depending on the number of cylinders. But ultimately, it is all about ensuring the smooth operation of the engine.